Welcome back, everyone. Another fake Lego set build today, and yeah, you might have seen in the shorts video a sort of unboxing of the actual package itself. I didn't yet reveal what kit that was. You probably have guessed if people have written in the notes. I will try not to give it away beforehand, but yeah, here are all the bags all just sorted in my tray so I can sort of go bag by bag, and here are the instructions, quite clear. When I bought this, I'm pretty sure it said it was PDF, which I prefer an actual manual rather than working from a computer, but it yeah, it came with a manual, much smaller than the original I would expect. Obviously this is not the original set, doesn't have the part number or anything. Well, that is, it's just a bit of nothing. So yeah, you can clearly see what set that is, which is the Mariokart set from Lego there, and the instructions are pretty much just reduced down. So first page there, you've got like 13 stages to one page, so they are quite reduced, which yeah, I've dealt with before. It's not the biggest of issues, but yeah, looks fairly straightforward. Looking forward to building this. Always been a big fan of the Mario series growing up, so it'd be good little display piece to have. A really good scale of car, and I hope they do bring out more of these over the years as well. It'd be great to get a collection of different Mario Karts as well. Yeah, so I'll clear the table, get the parts sorted, and get the build underway. Thanks so much, I'll see you soon. Well, here it is, guys. I'd love to say it's all finished, but unfortunately, as you can see, and if you've watched all the build, you'll notice it can't be completed because it is a huge failure. There are parts galore missing. As you can see, with my other builds I've done, I've built an awful lot of fake sets from AliExpress. Pretty much, I would say 90% have been absolutely accurate. All the pieces there, not an issue. This, quite the opposite. I've made quite a mistake purchasing this one, and I will be taking photos, showing the errors and everything like that, putting a complaint in with AliExpress, and I will be able to obtain a refund or return on it. So I've got no issues there. I will get my money back or a replacement set sent. The seller that has actually sold this to me no longer lists the product available. They are ignoring all my requests where I've shown them images of parts that are missing and parts that are mismolded, so they are not communicating one little bit. But you do get a 90-day return policy with AliExpress, and I will share with you how quickly that takes to process. I will be putting the claim in tonight. Now this is built and I can fully see exactly what is missing. For a kid's toy with the main parts missing, it looks rather frightening to look at, to be honest. You'll see straight away there's no eyes, there's no moustache, tile pieces with a mouth are missing, the M logo for the hat, there's also the big M logo for the front of the go-kart as well missing. Back piece of the cap completely missing. Undersides of the exhausts, those pieces are completely missing. Wheel caps, the covers for the wheels, again completely missing in the set. It's like there is a whole bag full of pieces missing. Now I thought initially perhaps there's a bag missing which was all the printed parts like the M logos and the eyes and stuff like that. Even ears there I noticed were missing. Back piece of the arms that connect here, that piece is missing. However, it's not just the case, because some of the parts that show that they are printed are there and are just not printed. So, you know, for example, these bits of the cheekbone here, this is supposed to have little markings on it printed for his face, but they're not. Coverings for the hands are missing. The bit that connects the feet properly to the legs are missing. The upper part of the leg of Mario, it's only a basic sort of 6x2 blue tile missing. So yeah, it's rather quite shocking, but I thought I'd sort of really persist and see the best I could to try and get it as a mold to sort of see that it is still possible if you persist. Obviously some things are loose because there are fixings missing, and some things completely you can't attach. This was supposed to go somewhere on here, but the tile that goes over there, again, it's a simple piece that's missing. I probably have got it in my bundle of parts that I've got, but it's the sheer principle. You pay for the set, they promote it with everything all on there, they show all the parts, and they even say on there if there's any parts missing, message us, we'll send them out. Again, I've requested parts, they have completely not responded one little bit. So yeah, I won't share who the supplier is, but yeah, it's disappointing. That's what it is, because I'm sure there are loads of these sets on AliExpress, and I'm sure if I'd have picked another supplier, all would have gone well and it would have been absolutely fine. But this experience so far has been absolutely shocking. So yeah, let's have a look at some of the pieces that couldn't go on. These are all parts that were supposed to be on the set but couldn't. So you've got an accelerator pedal here. If I take Mario just out, don't know whether you can see, but this element here is completely mismolded, and that is supposed to, if you can see on this one here, and find on that so you can see. So this element where this brick connects onto that and can actually move in that fashion is completely mismolded. I put the molded part still in because it did grip, but this element of the pedal cannot fit on that one little bit. That part I've already shown you as part of the head. These parts are quite frustrating. So just underneath here to the car, you can see there is, oh, that bit didn't come in. So you've got a part there that again is completely mismolded, and these are supposed to sit fitted to that, but again, because it's mismolded, there is no clutch there at all. That's just the base coming off. Let's just remove that. The base is complete, base is all fine. This element here, there is only one stud holding that whole piece on because there are supposed to be others. So yeah, that doesn't bode too well. Let's try and connect that. That'll do. So yeah, parts there are a bit too loose. These again are flimsy. They are only 2 studs held in, and because they're not original and they've not used good quality parts, they don't stay on very well at all. Probably just leave that off now because that's just going to create more damage there. And then I get onto these side pods here. These here, you can see nothing really sits flush or anything like that, and that's because there are some pieces that are like a 1x1 stud here, and they're supposed to be like double thickness. Now the height level of them is the wrong size for what it's supposed to be, and when you use such parts, or even if you don't, nothing on these elements can fit flush, so you can't compress it down and fit it all in. You can see the whole sort of height difference that is creating, but it's just not right at all. It's not right at all. They have used missed parts, and then my final gripe comes down to the manual. Now it's fully compressed into a much smaller book. You've got 74 pages worth of stuff, and at first glance it looks okay, but there are errors, and if they're just copying from the original instructions, how can they get this level of thing wrong? So you've got here, it says bag number 14, but that's the second time bag number 14 has appeared in the manual, because as soon as you finish bag 14 you're going on to number 17. So the error is that should stay 16. It's not that you're using items from that bag. And where's another example of it? So they'll show pieces where this is like cut and angled. I forget what the piece is called now, but they'll show an image of one part that is angled to go left, but it's actually the piece that is guided to go right that you need. So yeah, they don't always show the right piece in the actual instruction, which does make it overcomplicated as well. So that's my gripe there with that. It needs, how they can copy something and get it so wrong. So yeah, you can see there those discs again, the printed parts, they're completely not on there at all. Shoulder element of Mario, non-existent. Hair element, when you can see that whole piece to the back there, again, don't have that at all. Piece on here, there's just a 2x2 slope that's missing here. Then we've got elements of the hair just below that are gone. But for errors like just a simple blue 2x6 tile just to cover his legs, not there one little bit. Let's just take one of his feet off and I'll show you here. Now in the manual this shows that you're supposed to have just 4 semicircle tiles that go around this to dress it off and space it out nearly to fit the legs, but they supply the one that goes on the outside of it instead. It should have been the inner ring that can connect to that. So I've got a ton of those, that can't fit the element it's supposed to fit on. These are also spare. Again, I think these are supposed to be 2x2 rather than 2x3 versions, so they weren't fit for purpose. And I think this is what they sent, which is supposed to be the upper part of his shoulder. So again, they've sent it as a much smaller version of what that's supposed to be. So again, these are going spare and not in use. I think the other one was his nose. Should have been a much bigger element. That is the piece there. There's no way of connecting it to it. Yeah, it's supposed to be a big ball, but there is no nose completely there. So in a nutshell, if you're going to be buying this set as a fake set, then have a good look through at what reviews are, and see if people are complaining whether it is a good set or not. I think I've just been very unlucky. It is what it is. I do buy an awful lot of sets, and to get so many and not have these sort of areas, I've done very well. So yeah, unfortunately this time it's not gone well. So hopefully that means the next 10 sets I buy are going to be absolutely fine. That's the way I look at it. And I'm not too disheartened, because I'm not going to be left out of pocket. I'm just left with obviously a lot of time wasted putting together a set that doesn't really look like what it's supposed to, and I don't really want to give it to my children to play or look at, because one, well, it's quite fragile and will fall apart, but secondly, if that's sitting on a shelf in their bedroom, it's going to give them nightmares, isn't it? It really does, because Mario does not look like Mario. He looks like a horrified version of that. But yeah, it is what it is. The other option I've got is, I keep this, and when people do part out these sets on sites, I could obviously buy up the printed pieces and complete it as I would want to myself. But yeah, I just think it's probably worthwhile getting a return. I think people are listing them at a slightly cheaper price now as well. I think the price has gone down from when I think it was about £40 when I bought it. So I think the pricing has dropped. Hopefully I'll get the full refund, and I might even purchase a better reviewed one that is now a cheaper price. Unfortunately, I bought this very early when it first came out, and might be the reason why it's riddled with these errors. There was no guides to go to with regards to which sellers were better than others, because there were no reviews left on any of them. I really got in there quite quick to buy it, and yeah, fortunately this time it hasn't paid off. So moving on to more of a positive note, I should have some more time coming up with the next few weeks, and I've got a long list of builds to get done. I've got a promoted set I've got where someone's gifted me an old classic Formula 1 car that I need to get done ASAP, and there's been a few requests in the comments of sets that people would like to see me get built. So I've got one of those which I will get done within the next few days, and upload soon. So hopefully the uploads will become a bit more frequently over the summer period. So anyway, thanks for watching all of that. Sorry it wasn't a great one today, but I think I did stop when I first started getting issues and think, do I really want to continue this and put a video out on it? But I think it's important that you lot do see there are good and bad sets out there on AliExpress. Yes, they save an awful lot of money, but yeah, don't make the error I made. Wait until you see some good reviews and the sellers are reputable for it, and then make your purchase then wisely. So don't go in too early like I did. That's what I'm learning out of all this anyway. But hey ho. Right, I'll leave that with you, and hopefully you can like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next build. Thanks very much. Bye bye.